First of all, Mr. Willard, let's turn on the air conditioning so you'll have a really comfortable demonstration ride.
Air conditioning? You've got to be kidding. You know this is the coldest day we've had in 20 years? I just heard that in the radio coming down here.
Sure is a hot one today, isn't it, Mr. Ball? We'd better roll all the windows up tight.
Roll them up? With the temperature 90 in the shade and still going up? You sure you're all right, son? Maybe we better put off this demonstration ride and make it another day.
There are two puzzled prospects. And maybe even you're wondering what's going on, unless you've already caught on that the salesmen are simply using a dramatic way to get into four-season sales reasons. Whatever the weather, in July or January, in Alabama or Alaska, Chevrolet's new four-season climate control system has plenty of sales appeal. Its biggest selling point is that as a new four-season system, it gives the owner all the benefits of perfect climate control 365 days a year. This is the most important point of all to get across, and to do it, it's often necessary to change the prospect's built-in concept of air conditioning. Ask just about anybody what he thinks air conditioning does. Chances are that he'll say, it makes the air cool, and that's all. This is the most widely held concept of air conditioning, and this concept knocks out any consideration of air conditioning usefulness on colder days. If it's already cool outside, who needs it cooler inside? So the first image we have to clear up is that air conditioning's main function is to cool a car. One way to do it is to talk in terms of climate control, four-season climate control, not air conditioning. This helps leave old concepts behind, lets us start out fresh in ushering the prospect to a new world of comfort. It's the comfort of a fresh, cool 67 to 78 degrees inside the car when it might be considerably hotter outside, and the comfort of a cozy, warm 67 to 78 degrees inside the car when it might be much colder outside. This begins to get the four-season concept across. One steady year-round temperature inside the car, no peaks and no valleys, whether it's summer or winter, spring or fall. But wait, temperature control is only one item in the overall comfort picture. Now, how often have you heard someone say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity? Whatever the humidity outside, four-season climate control dehumidifies the air the year around inside the car to a comfortable 40 to 50% relative humidity. Foggy windows? No foggy windows on Chevrolets equipped with four-season climate control. The dehumidifying action keeps window interiors clear of fog in any weather. Is it dusty outside? There's no dust inside. Chevrolet's four-season climate control takes it in stride, washes the dust out of the air inside the car. Is the driver allergic to pollen? With four-season climate control, up to 98% of pollen is removed from the air inside the car. Any tears he sheds will be for fellow sufferers who don't have their cars air-conditioned. An added bonus in this new world of comfort that the four-season climate control system provides is the quiet ride, which results from driving with all car windows closed. This makes a dramatic addition to the system's sales appeal. And now that we've defined what we're selling, a climate control system for use 365 days a year, and we've hit the high spots of its benefits, let's go back to the two salesmen we saw at the beginning. Remember Mr. Willard, who thought the salesman was crazy when he wanted to turn on the air conditioning on the coldest day in 20 years?
I'm sorry I threw you off with the term air conditioning, Mr. Willard. I should have called it by its right name, Chevrolet's four-season climate control. Most people think of air conditioning as mainly a cooling process. And of course, our four-season climate control will give you all the cooling you want when it's the season for it. But right now, it's the season for heat, and the same system will give it to us. What's more, it'll give us clean air, free of dust or soot. And it'll be free of any draft, too, because we'll be driving with the windows closed, but still the windows won't fog up.
And remember Mr. Ball, who thought his salesman was a heat victim when he started to close all the car windows with the temperature 90 in the shade?
That's all right, Mr. Ball. You see, my demonstrator's equipped with the Deluxe All-Weather Air Conditioner for four-season climate control. So the closed windows are for keeping the hot air outside, the cool air inside. Of course, as I said, This is a four-season system, which means that in cold weather you get the opposite effect. Cold air is kept out and warm air kept in. And you get one or the other in the spring or fall, depending on what kind of a day it is outside. In other words, Mr. Ball, with the four-season climate control system, you drive with the windows closed 365 days a year, because it's working for you every one of those days.
Isn't that going a bit far, keeping the windows closed all year? I mean, there are plenty of days through the year when the temperature's just right for rolling the window. Temperature's just right for rolling the window. Temperature's just right for rolling the window. Temperature's just right for rolling the windows all the way down and letting that nice, clean, fresh air in.
Even on days like that, Mr. Ball, the air circulating through your car will be cleaner and more refreshing than any you get through the open windows, simply because it's cleaned of dirt particles, pollen, and smog. Anything that makes the ordinary air we breathe outside not as pure as we sometimes think it is. When you can get a car full of air that's been cleaned, dehumidified, and at the exact temperature you want every 40 seconds, why depend on the stuff that flies in through open windows? And now you take over, and let's go for a ride. You'll see for yourself what I've been talking about.
So much for the two salesmen we saw at the beginning and how they went on after their interest-catching opening to develop the four-season climate control story with their prospects. Now let's look in on another Chevrolet salesman who is trying to interest a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Jennings, in the four-season climate control system.
Do you notice how many ways you're more comfortable driving with the windows closed? Not only is the air refreshingly clean and just right for complete comfort in temperature and humidity, but you're also insulated from the harshest part of outside traffic noise. The part that adds most to driving and riding tension. Notice the difference when I roll the window up. And here's something the ladies like especially, Mrs. Jennings. There's no wind coming in through the open windows to muss up the hair. Why, even after hours of riding, your hair remains as well kept as if you were in your own living room. Another thing you'll like, just run your hand over any part of the interior. You won't find any of the usual dust deposits that you find even in the best-kept cars that don't have the facilities for keeping the air inside clean and dust-free.
Well, that's certainly nice, but we've always been Chevrolet buyers. Well, frankly, isn't this something that belongs more in the big, highest-priced cars?
No, Mrs. Jennings, I wouldn't say that. First of all, I don't think anyone would even suggest that only big mansions should have air conditioning, but not homes like yours and mine. It's no different with cars. Now, you're regular Chevrolet buyers. To me, that means you know that you can pay more, but you can't buy better. So what's more logical than using some of the money you save from your good judgment of car value to get the benefits of the new four-season climate control system? And speaking of value, the fact that the new four-season climate control system is designed for 365 days a year use makes it a real value. What's more, it adds to the resale value of the car when it's time to trade it in.
Is it very complicated to use? What I mean is, with the different conditions outside from day to day, are there complicated settings you have to make?
There's nothing complicated about it, Mrs. Jennings. We can go through the entire cycle right now. For cooling, all that's required once the air conditioning knob is pulled out to activate the cooling system is pulling out or pushing in of the air lever. This determines whether you'll be using recirculated air only, outside air only, or a mixture of the two. If you want less than maximum cooling, you can temper the cool air, mixing heated air with it, simply by moving the temperature lever to any position between full out and full in. For heating, with the air conditioning knob pushed in, which leaves the cooling system deactivated, you simply push the air lever all the way down to get only outside air, and move the temperature lever to any position between the up and down positions to get the proper mixture of outside air and heated air into the passenger compartment. For defogging and defrosting, with the air conditioning knob all the way in and the air lever all the way down, the temperature lever is set to get the air temperature wanted. Then it's just a matter of adjusting the defog-defrost lever up or down to determine the proportion of air going to the heating outlets and windshield. For ventilating, the air conditioning knob is full in and air lever all the way down, and the temperature lever is all the way up. This allows 100% outside air into the passenger compartment. I might add, Mrs. Jennings, that all this soon becomes as automatic as any other thing you do in the course of driving a car.
Yes, for all kinds of prospects, the four-season climate control system has plenty of sales appeal. We've seen some examples. There are many others. Salesmen who spend so much time in their cars in all kinds of weather are ideal prospects. They get where they're going less fatigued and looking as well as feeling fresher. Business and professional men are good prospects. They spend most of their day in air-conditioned buildings, and their homes are generally also air-conditioned. Why not their transportation between home and work as well? Management men in industry with their need to look neat and successful are good prospects. So are fleet users who are concerned with their drivers remaining alert and efficient, and who also know that the increased resale value makes a sound investment. And don't forget the women. They make the best prospects of all. They're particularly conscious of the cleanliness and neatness benefits and the added benefit of not getting their carefully set hair windblown. Besides the deluxe model we've dealt with so far, there's the Chevrolet Custom Air Conditioner, a completely new model with the evaporator unit placed behind the instrument panel, which allows 3 passengers to ride comfortably in the front seat. There's the Chevy 2 Deluxe Air Conditioner for Chevy 2 buyers. It's an extremely efficient unit with a cooling capacity equal to or greater than most window-type air conditioners. For Corvair buyers, there's the Corvair Deluxe Air Conditioner, designed to operate efficiently under all driving conditions and maintain the high engine and economy factors associated with the Corvair car. There's also the highly efficient air conditioner custom design for all light and medium model trucks with automatic transmission or steering column shift, and a variation for installation on medium, heavy, and heavy-duty trucks with 4- and 5-speed transmissions. In other words, you can sell air conditioning for almost any Chevrolet vehicle made. Finally, you have the advantage of a rapidly accelerating demand for air conditioning by Chevrolet owners. 2 years ago, the rise in sales was 20% over the previous year. Last year's sales rise over the previous year was better than 90%. What it will be this year with the new 4-season climate control system, more versatile than any system Chevrolet ever had, is anybody's guess. But it will be way up. How far up? That's strictly up to you. You have the product. It's sensational in its versatile performance. You have the prospects. They're ready for it. Put the two together, and you'll be on the way to making the 4-season climate control system as popular on Chevrolet vehicles as the automatic transmission is today.